This ball python just laid a clutch of eggs.
And it's a great looking clutch.
She had 3 of the eggs wrapped up and 3 of them weren't. Sometimes mother snakes will kick out the infertile eggs, but I don't think that's the case here because these eggs look really nice. I'll collect them and get them situated in my egg box.
She laid a total of 6 eggs, which is average for a ball python.
The eggs will remain in the egg box until they hatch. When ball python eggs are incubated at 89 degrees Fahrenheit, it takes them about 55 to 60 days to hatch.
Now, one thing that is a little different about this clutch is that the eggs didn't stick together.
And because the eggs didn't stick together, they may roll around inside the egg box. So I'm going to use these little sticks to hold them in place and prevent them from rolling around. Now that we got them situated, I'll get them in the incubator and keep you updated on how they're doing. These ball python eggs are on day 3 of incubation.
And I found some water sitting on top of one of the eggs. If left untreated, this could lead to some serious issues.
The water is likely due to a buildup of condensation that dripped on the egg. To treat the issue, I'll wipe away the water and use some antifungal powder to dry it up and prevent any mold growth. I think we caught it in time, but I'm certainly going to keep a close eye on it and do anything I can to prevent the egg from going bad. And since I haven't yet, I decided to candle all of these eggs. What I'm looking for is the presence of veins. It's hard to see here, but this last egg does have some veins. They're just not as strong as the others.
So that's another egg that we'll have to keep an eye on. I'll get these eggs back in the incubator and keep you updated.
These ball python eggs are on day 12 of incubation. In the last update, some water dripped on top of one of the eggs, causing a water spot. If water sits on top of an egg for too long, it could cause some serious issues. To treat the problem, we dried the egg and then we used some antifungal powder to help dry up the rest of that wet spot and prevent any mold growth. And so far it appears that it worked. But I'll definitely keep a close eye on this egg and watch for any signs that it's going bad. These ball python eggs are on day 34 of incubation.
A few weeks ago, we had to dry up a wet spot on one of the eggs with some antifungal powder.
It seemed to work, but that egg now has a little bit of a dark spot on it. I don't think it's anything we need to worry about, but I'll definitely keep an eye on it. Ball python eggs will usually hatch around day 55 for me. So we're only about 21 days from seeing what these babies are gonna look like. These ball python eggs are on day 47 of incubation.
A few weeks ago, this egg developed some mold, and we treated it with some antifungal powder.
It cleared up the one spot, but I see another spot developed. I expect this clutch to start hatching in a week or so, and if that spot begins to grow, I'll consider cutting open the egg in an attempt to save the baby snake. Since we had a little bit of mold growth, I'm checking the bottoms of the eggs, just so there's not any mold growing that I don't see. I don't see any, and these eggs are looking pretty good, but we'll see what happens in about a week when these baby snakes start to hatch. These ball python eggs are on day 57 of incubation, and it looks like one is starting to hatch. You could see where the snake used its egg tooth and sliced open the egg. I used a small pair of scissors to widen the opening so we could get a better look. I made small and careful cuts to ensure that I didn't harm the snake, and it looks like we got a banana morph. The pairing for this clutch was a Savannah banana to a mystic, so the clutch has potential to produce some beautiful snakes. We'll have to wait until it crawls out to get a better idea of the exact combination of genes it has. But by the looks of it, I think it's going to be a beautiful snake. Now that the first snake pipped, the rest of the clutch won't be far behind. And I'm really excited to see what we hatch out. And I'm particularly interested to see how that one egg that we had to treat for mold turns out. I detected a problem with this egg because it wasn't hatching on time. Other snakes in the clutch had already hatched.
So I'm going to cut it open to see if the snake is alright.
At this point in time, the snake should be fully developed, so cutting open the egg won't harm the snake. We may actually be able to save the snake if there's some sort of problem. So I don't harm the snake inside, I pinch the top of the egg, and then I slowly and carefully cut off the top of that pinch. The inside of the egg is filled with a network of veins, which helps supply the snake with nutrients. So the red that you see is not an injury to the snake, it's just those veins on the inside of the eggshell.
When I opened the egg, the baby popped its head right out to see what was going on.
It seemed active and alert, which is a great sign. The snake also had an egg tooth, which is that tiny tooth in the middle of its upper lip. They use that little tooth to slice open the egg when they're ready to hatch. Occasionally, the snake doesn't develop an egg tooth, so it can't hatch out of the egg. But this one had one. To the left of the snake's head, you could see its yolk sac. It's not empty, so the snake is still absorbing some of those nutrients. So we'll put it back in the incubator, and when it's ready, it'll crawl out. These ball python eggs are on day 59 of incubation, and 2 more crawled out of their eggs.
Despite having the same parents, these 2 snakes have vastly different colors and patterns.
And that's due to the genetic makeup of the parents. Here you can see the snake's belly button. That's where the snake's umbilical cord was attached that it used to absorb the yolk from the yolk sac while it was still inside the egg. These 2 snakes pipped. Let's cut the egg open a little wider so we could check up on it. You have to cut very slowly and carefully to ensure that you don't harm the snake. This little one looks absolutely incredible.
I won't be sure until it crawls out, but what I think we have here is a banana mystic potion.
Just from a visual perspective, this may be my favorite ball python that we hatched this season so far. I can't wait to see it when it's out of the egg. This snake also looks like a lighter color morph. I carefully cut the areas between the pips the snake already made so we could get a better look and check up on the snake. This little one popped its head out to see what was going on, and it also looks very healthy and is gorgeous. This is the last egg in the clutch and it hasn't pipped yet, so I think I'm going to cut it open to check up on the snake. All the other snakes in this clutch hatched and crawled out of their eggs, except for this one.
So I decided to cut it open to check up on the snake.
There were a total of 6 eggs in this clutch, and they all started hatching a few days ago. These are the 2 latest snakes to crawl out, and they are beautiful. This one appears to be a banana Mojave, and this one is a banana mystic potion. I love the dorsal stripe and the ghostly markings on the side. I can't wait to see this snake after it sheds. This is my favorite ball python of the season so far.
But we still have one more egg in this clutch that didn't hatch yet.
Because all of the other snakes are already out of their eggs, it leads me to believe that there may be an issue with this snake, causing it not to be able to hatch. And because the rest of the clutch hatched, I know this snake is fully developed, so it's safe to cut open the egg. As soon as I opened this egg, the snake popped its nose out, and I pretty quickly saw the problem. It appears that this little one is missing its egg tooth. The snake uses that egg tooth to slice open the egg when it's ready to hatch. But if they're missing that egg tooth, sometimes they have a hard time getting out of the egg. Now that we open the egg, he's free to crawl out when he's ready. This ball python egg is on day 60 of incubation.
He was having trouble hatching, so we cut open his egg.
And it looks like he was ready to get out. In less than 24 hours, he's already out of the egg. And like the rest of his clutch mates, he absorbed all of his yolk. Here's a look at the entire clutch. We got some really nice banana combinations, a Mojave and a Mystic or a Classic. I'm not sure what it is yet. In about 5 to 10 days, they'll have their first shed. And then we'll get to see their colors really pop. I'll get these little ones back in the incubator because now we're off to the mystical market.